Previously on Backfire. We did a YouTube Live, and we invited Mike the Marine to come out and prove to us that he could hit 100 out of 100 shots in realistic hunting situations. Well, he was a good sport about it, but he did scope himself on the warm-up, missed his second shot, and overall ended up with a very low hit percentage. And so we're left with the question, what can just the average passionate amateur hunter accomplish in these situations? Don't worry, the series will continue and we have a couple of pros coming out to shoot this and we'll see what they can accomplish. But today is the fan edition. We have 3 fans. One of them is Twinkie, a hunting guide that you guys have met on previous episodes of Backfire. And we're gonna see what they can accomplish in terms of what their hit percentage is in realistic hunting situations out to 600 yards. They say they can beat the record. We'll find out. We're set up for the first set of targets. We got 5 set up between 230 and 530 yards. We're at the top of a hill coming down, so this shouldn't be terribly hard to range, but we'll see how they shoot it. Jake, you're first.
Yep.
You're a fan of the channel, came down from Idaho. Tell us about what gun you brought.
I've got a Cascade CVA. It's chambered in 7mm Remington mag.
And I like that butt pad you got on there. That's a nice looking backstop recoil pad. Very fancy. All right, let's see how you do.
Okay.
Feeling confident?
Let's go.
You are. Can they beat Mike the Marine? Kaboom! What'd you ranging that as?
360.
Okay.
Maybe 370. Or 370.
Oh, it's a hit!
437.
For the third set?
Is that what you got?
Maybe it is.
Okay, we'll find out.
Kaboom!
Right over the top of it.
All right, shooter number 2. You guys have met Twinkie in a few videos. Twinkie is a professional hunting guide, has some great hunting courses at Process-Based Hunter. And now, I mean, certainly you've cursed out thousands of clients who have come, you get them on an elk, and then they can't hit anything.
Usually I'm consoling them is what's going on.
Now the internet gets its retribution on the hunting guide. See if you can do it.
We'll see.
Ready? All right.
Let's do it.
What kind of gun is this?
This is a Savage 110 Tactical.
In 6.5 Creedmoor.
6.5 Creedmoor. I dislocated my shoulder sneezing, so I can't shoot something real big right now.
Let's go.
You ready?
Ready. Kaboom! Down goes the antelope. Next one. Hit. Next one, 406. Oh,
Where'd it hit?
Wing and a miss.
Where'd it hit?
Didn't see a signature.
No. Okay.
All right, target number 4. Hit.
Oh! Oh, I shot right to the right of it.
Oh, so close.
It was like 3 inches right.
Ah. All right, you went 3 for 5.
That's pretty terrible,
Out
actually.
to 530 yards. It is tough when you're in kind of a, I mean, and this is a situation where we have all the time in the world to set it up. and still shots out to 500. It's not a given.
No.
All right. Let's see what our third shooter does, and then we're going to ramp up the difficulty. All right. Our third competitor is Brandon. Brandon's a dentist up in Cedar, former serviceman, and now a passionate hunter. How do you feel like you're going to do here?
All right, I guess. I don't know. This is going to be a...
Feeling confident until you see the first two shooters go 3 for 5, huh?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Hit! Beautiful explosion. I love it. Crushed it.
Oh.
Nothing.
It's still sitting there. Did you see where I hit?
I didn't. Very nice. Well done. Okay, now if you hit this one, you beat the professional hunting guide.
Nobody said I was a professional shooter.
Nothing?
Nothing.
It's still
Everybody
there.
goes 3 for 5 on stage number 1. Stage number 2, we're going to lose the sandbags. We're going to put them in more realistic positions for hunting. But we're going to get up on a little bit higher elevation so that we can get more certain ranges. Let's try it.
So interesting. After editing this and looking back on the video, so all 3 of them went 3 for 5 on those first 5 jugs. We only went out to 530 yards. And they got the advantage they could shoot off sandbags, take all the time in the world, everything in that first stage. And so it really makes you second guess, like, how far can we realistically be hunting? Because this had every advantage in the first stage, and still everybody can miss. Sometimes a little bit of wind, sometimes not getting a perfect range or an imperfect trigger pull, or just don't have your gun dialed in perfectly. But problems do happen. Hey, keep it down over there, little lady.
Stage number 2. We're shooting from up on a hill, so it should be easy to get a range. And we have lots of boulders and things to shoot off of. Shoot off boulders, shoot off hunting bags, tripod, bipod, whatever you want to use, except sandbags. Just real hunting implements here. Targets are between 300 and 500 yards out there. But we're going to put a timer of 5 minutes to hit each of the targets. We'll see how they do. So far, they're barely ahead of Mike the Marine, but nobody's quite showing them up yet. We'll see. So what's your strategy here? Where are you going to shoot off?
Well, so we've got the targets out there. I'm going to use this rock. Got the backpack. I'm going to use my backpack. And I have 5 minutes?
5 minutes.
5 minutes for 5 shots?
Starting now. Let's go.
Okay.
The reason we want to do 1 or 2 of these stages timed is because in hunting, you frequently don't have all day to range, dial, dope, and shoot. Sometimes the animal's going to move away and you got to get a shot off. And so this isn't high stress at all. I mean, you have 60 seconds to take a shot, but a little bit of time just to see what they can do in that situation.
Miss. .470. Oh, that's a hit. What the heck? 1 out of 5, but it's the 585 that you hit. I love it. He was saving up for that one. Between shooters here, a little quick note on why Milk Jugs. One, it's just a fun target to see explode, and they're cheap. But also, I measured the vitals of a white-tailed deer that I shot in Texas, and it was a 7.5-year-old deer. It was an old deer, and it was 8 inches tall and 9 inches wide. And so I was surprised. You know, we measured, the lung and heart area, 8 inches by 9 inches. It's not that big. And, you know, I often hear people say, you know, the vitals are, oh, 14 inches, maybe on an elk, sure, maybe even bigger, but on a whitetail deer, that was the size. You get to an antelope, smaller than that, a coos deer, something like that. And so, you know, roughly 8 inches by 9 inches, we got a milk jug. That's kind of how it started. Everybody's finding rocks here and shooting in, you know, kneeling and sitting positions. But look right here. There's this nice big flat rock above everything that you could lay down prone on top of and have a backpack, and then you got a prone view of everything. I'm always looking for a prone position, and I'm not the best by any means, but boy, if I could get prone, I think it'd be a lot better hit percentage. Tate, you're up. 5 minutes start now. Let's go.
Let's do it.
So you're 3 out of 5 on the first one. First competitor for this stage got 1 out of 5 on this.
Which is...
Seems like you got a little bit better of a spot here, looking like you're going prone.
Yeah, I like to go prone when I can.
You're gonna be a little bit tweaked to the side of the gun, but...
Can I range with your binos?
Yeah, you bet. Okay, so he's kind of twisted off to the side here, but a much more stable position. Okay. A little behind on time. Hit! 2 for 2 on this stage.
Ooh,
Oh, so close.
left. I hit 3 inches left.
So close.
525.
That was close.
That was real close. That pressure of the timer, it got to me. I pulled the trigger a little too soon.
It does, and you shot the wrong deer on one of them. Maybe it explains how some of your clients get that happening.
I have a really good success rate.
Yeah, that's right. No, that was impressive shooting. Yeah, those were good shots there.
You ready?
Hit! Very nice. Well done. Woo! I think we call that a hit. I see a tiny, tiny bit of water coming out of it. Like, I don't think you could get a sip from a drinking fountain, but water did drip out of that one. It's a hit. Oh, nice.
I thought I was gonna miss that one. I pulled it.
Oh, just left. Just left.
I get 2 or 3.
All right, that was fun.
So stage 2. It seems that most of the misses were just, none of them got into a very stable position. Even those that went down to the ground, they were all tweaked off to the side. I think just a little bit more practice on building a position in a rocky kind of scenario like that. I think you could increase the hit rate a lot. It was easy to range because we were up on a hill looking down a little bit. And so the range really shouldn't be a problem there. And the wind was very, very slight there. It was mostly just building a position in a tough situation that probably just needed a little bit of practice. Other thing you see is, like you see on Jacob's last ones, when he shoots, is kind of the same thing as Mike the Marine. As soon as that trigger goes off, boom, they're up trying to look outside the scope to see where they hit instead of staying in the scope, which really just that anticipation of what's happening when the shot breaks can really lead to making a little bit of movement as the shot is still going off.
We're on a very, very steep slope here, about 150 yards up from the targets. It's hard to tell on the camera sometimes how steep something is. We got targets from 380 to 580. They're gonna take 5 shots. We're assuming they're gonna miss 1, that they can choose to re-engage whichever one that they want to. Now we get to see how they're gonna compensate for some elevation and finding a place to shoot in a wide open terrain like this. If you've hunted aoudad or sheep, something like that, this is gonna be pretty familiar. Big open basins, steep angles. Let's see what they can make of it. What do you think about the position you're in here? So you're in an awkward position here. Hindsight, do you wish you would have just squared up to the target and shot off the back in front of you seated?
No, I honestly think that this was still probably more steady than that. The hard part is that it's just shale. So it's just rocks that you keep sliding down on. And so it doesn't really surprise me that I missed anyway. But, maybe if I would have had a redo, I would have gotten a better spot up on one of these rocks where one of these other guys is going to set up. But honestly, I feel like I was pretty steady. So I'm not really sure why I was missing. But like when I would pull the trigger, I feel like I was on the jug.
Okay.
So.
Very nice. Well done.
That was loud.
Good?
8 him away. No wind. Woo! 2 o'clock, 3 inches.
Oh.
Did you shoot a different target? I didn't see anything.
Really? I shot at the second one, in the middle.
Huh.
But
yeah, I didn't get anything on that one.
Yeah, I probably flinched on that one.
The mountain is proving tough.
Yeah.
Okay, Jake's setting up here. You got a backpack. I like that you're more squared off to the target here, but you have nothing for the rear of the gun. How steady do you think you're going to be?
I know. Yeah, that's going to be an issue, but we'll see what we can do. I got my knee. I'm going to rest on my knee.
Okay, you got your knee there. All right, it's not bad.
So.
You could put the bipod on the rock and use the backpack for the rear, but you like that spot.
Yeah, I think I want the front more stable a little bit.
Yes,
I feel pretty good on the back. Anyway.
So far, we're 1 out of 10 from shots on these on the mountain. No pressure here.
No pressure.
It is
gotta win, right?
Hit. I like it. Now we're 2 out of 10 from the mountain. .430, 6 inches.
To the right?
Low and right. We're all sitting down on the mountain here because if you stand up, you might go tumbling down. So we went 2 for 15 on the mountain. And so first I've got to say, the Backfire hunting challenge is not standardized. Mike the Marine didn't shoot anything this hard. The previous 2 stages were very similar. This one's just tough, right? That's why we're doing it, is to show that, it's tough to do. So let's talk about first just getting into a steady position. To what extent do you guys feel like, can you attribute the misses to just your wobble zone was too big? Like how steady were you?
I wasn't real steady. I mean, the first one is probably the easiest, it's closest, right? But I'm moving all over the jug. Not really. Didn't have a good backstop, really. It was my knee.
Oh,
my knee.
I love the pun because you actually do have a backstop.
I got a backstop.
The recoil
on my
pad
knee
back.
was not stable. So.
Yeah, I noticed that on your position is you use the backpack on the front, and I wonder if you use just the bipod on the front and use that backpack to get that rear of the gun steady, if that could help.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so getting into a position, I don't know that I would have done any better here. But one thing I have at least has worked a little bit better for me is when you're shooting on a weird angle, to first just square up to the target and then find something to stabilize both sides instead of trying to twist your body around. Because it just gets so uncomfortable. You don't know if you're looking in the scope the same way. It's tough.
I hit 2!
Where?
Where?
Oh! All right, you got him. Fair enough. We're doing some standing shots with this to kind of simulate an antelope hunt. It's flat. The shots are only out to 250 yards, but don't tell them 250 on the last one because it's very flat and it's going to be tough to get a range because it's just so flat. If you move a millimeter one side to the other, you get 300 yards behind it wherever your laser is hitting. Very tough to get. You're pretty much going to have to mill that last one. Use the markings on your reticle to get the distance there. But everything else is very close, 250 yards, something you might see on an antelope hunt where you got to shoot off a tripod to get above the brush. Crushed it. Crushed it.
No
3
idea.
for 5?
3 for 5.
Not bad.
Sweet.
Hey, hit. 4 for 4. And 3 minutes on this guy.
3 minutes. That's pretty convenient.
Yeah.
What was the distance?
I can't remember. What was the far one?
250.
Yeah, something like that. Hit it! 5, 4, 5.
Oh,
In
redemption!
15-mile-an-hour wind. I like that.
I was
well
holding
done.
that far for wind.
Very nice.
Yeah.
That was good shooting. I sprayed quite a lot.
Good thing I've got a backstop.
How is your shoulder after putting a lot of rounds through it?
It's not too bad.
Good.
Tied up again, Tate.
Oh, are you? Oh, last round, tied up. Interesting. So shooting off a tripod's tough, especially in the wind. They were all saying, man, it just feels like I'm getting blown more than anything else. I've never been great at shooting off tripod. I've gone to a few long range schools where they've taught different techniques of how to do it and stuff. And first thing that they'll teach is to square off to the tripod instead of going like this. Because if you watch a lot, if you're squatted like this, you're just not that steady, right? And so, try to square off to it. And then a lot of people are leaning into the tripod like that. So it's like your third leg. Man, I know most people are shooting that way who are better than me, but I just wasn't having success. I went to the FTW Sam Ranch when I did the Beretta BRX1 video, and I was just struggling on the tripod, and the guy said, you know what, just forget everything everybody always says about tripod, and like, just stand up, square it off to it, and get to like a normal height instead of leaning over so much into it. And try to shoot it like that. And my hit percentage went way up. So if you've struggled on a tripod, it might be at least something to try. It worked for me. All right, guys, last stage. Ready for this? So Tate, have you ever had a situation where you had to like run to get into position to shoot?
100%.
100%. All the time, right?
80% of the time.
Have you ever had windy conditions at the end of a day to hunt? Absolutely. And when you're running and stuff, it gets your heart rate up. Makes it a lot harder to shoot, right?
A lot harder.
Okay, so here it is. You're pressed for time. You got 1 minute for each shot, so you got 5 minutes total. You'll start right here with your backpack, your gun, and everything. You can go wherever you want, including you can choose to close distance to get closer. But you can only close up to 75 yards.
Oh, I was like, can I just bang?
Yeah, you just can't run up and cap them. But before each shot, you have to do 4 burpees before each shot. So it's going to get your heart rate up, and you got to shoot with an elevated heart rate.
I'm going to be totally honest. I don't know if I can do burpees right now.
Oh, push off your left arm. All right, ready? Let's go. Who's first? All right, here we go. On your mark, get set, go.
Okay, I'm just gonna find somewhere flat from right here, because if I close the distance, I will not be able to go prone. Okay, Jim, get me 180 would be 2 MOA, right?
1 MOA.
1 MOA?
Yep. 1.5 MOA.
1.5.
Hit. Oh, wait, burpee.
Oh, I forgot the burpees. Oh. Oh. Okay. Is that 3 or 4?
That's good.
Okay. What's that range?
Hit.
Okay.
No.
Did you see where I hit?
That was tough. Under
Come on.
pressure is really, really tough.
Just knowing the ranges from here is really hard because it's so flat.
Yep. All right. Next up is Brandon. Right after that, though, we're going to have Jake shoot this. So coming into this, Tate and Jake were tied. And we're going to find out if Jake can beat Tate's record of 2 on this last one to see who reigns supreme. And then, also interesting, I want to see what everybody's hit percentage was in the end. I will say we had probably 2 of the stages that were harder on this today than what we did with Mike the Marine. But a lot of it has been similar. And so I'm curious to see what these guys' hit percentage is and if they beat Mike the Marine.
Okay. All right. Well,
On your mark,
ready?
get set, go.
Okay.
All right, you've closed a little distance here, got to an open spot.
Do I have to do burpees again?
Got his burpees.
With my rangefinder.
You've only used 30 seconds. Hit! Hi, Jake. This is for the win here. See if you can
Okay.
beat the professional hunting guide. This is some pressure here.
Yeah, a little bit.
So are you
Yeah.
going to close distance or just go from here?
I'm going to close a little bit, about 50 yards, and then I'll start shooting.
Okay. Let's see how we do.
Okay.
Curious to see if you guys beat Mike the Marine at the end of all this and if you beat Tate. On your mark, get set, go.
Let's go over here.
Only 146 on this first one. Hit. Burpees. You've used 1:45. Hit. All right, you are tied with Tate right now. One more hit for the win. No. Uh-oh, 2 shots and now they're further. No.
Oh man,
6.
I'm not gonna get this.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No. No! I hate a tie. Why did you have to do that to the internet?
You gotta shoot more.
Nobody likes a tie. That was good shooting though. That's tough, isn't it?
Yeah.
But like this is the most realistic hunting scenario. Well,
Yeah.
all of them have been, but especially this, like that's what it's really like.
Out of breath and.
Yep. You're
Out
running
there,
up to a
yep.
spot, got to get a shot off.
Yep.
Pretty cool. Good shooting.
Thanks.
We have our hit percentages out to these ranges. I think we can all agree that these were realistic for hunting situations. And for a lot of people, it's going to be setting up a gun quickly before the hunt, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what would you say, based on this experience, your ethical hunting percentage is? Right? At what ranges?
So the biggest factor, I think, for a hunting gun is the wind. I think that's why we missed a lot of them, especially the latter half of the day.
Yeah, the first half was dead silent.
Yeah, and at least in like prone positions, I think the wind was really, really hard. So I would say if there's wind, probably going to keep it under 250 or 3. I don't know. What do you
How about perfect conditions?
Perfect conditions? I mean, if I have practiced with the gun and I'm confident in everything, I'd probably be okay taking a shot out to 6, but I'd have to practice a lot and I'd have to be 100% confident I was going to hit it. Most of the time I like to keep it under 4. So
Cool.
Yeah, perfect conditions as far as no wind. You know, if you're prone, you're steady. You know, you don't see your heartbeat. But when you're on the hill and you have nothing underneath the back of that gun, you're sitting there watching your heart just beat. So I don't think in that situation you would do anything over 300-400 yards.
Yeah, I think
But you'd have
that kind of shot, 250 is going to be a challenge.
But let's say you're really confident with your gun at 600 yards. You do have to worry about how you're positioned.
Yep.
And then if you do have.
Yep. Jake, how about you?
For me, I don't have a whole lot of practice, so I wouldn't be. I don't feel like I would be comfortable shooting more than 200 or 300 yards out. Personally, if I practice a lot more, maybe I could go a little further than that. But for me, staying on 300.
300 yards. Cool.
I want to say one more thing. So I've killed 2 animals past 600 yards. I killed an antelope at like 620 and an elk. Actually, I killed a coyote at 700 yards a little while ago, but it's with a gun that it's a 7 mag that I'm extremely confident with. And so I think a lot of it has to do with how confident you are with the rifle. And the more you shoot it, you're going to know where to hold for wind, where all those different data points are. And I think that helps a ton too.
Yep. Well, thanks for coming out, guys.